Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for joining me once again for tea time. Today we have a little bit of fireside. I love that taste of smokiness. It's really good. Lap song, I love it. It's really good stuff. As I always say, if you want to pick up any of my teas that I made for you guys, go pick them up over at darkmoonteas.com or just head over to my website, JCristina.com. Either way. So today is going to be a Olympus day, guys. Olympus. Well, we talked about Olympus a few weeks back, and we gave you some really depressing news, I guess, that Olympus was selling off their camera division to JIP, which is the Japan Industrial Partners. Okay, so if you hear me say JIP, you know what it is going forth in this video. Anyways, Japan Industrial Partners, or JIP, are buying their camera division from Olympus as of the end of the year. Well, I was reading some news articles on a Japanese website where there was a lot of, let's say, boots on the ground, where there was interviews done and a lot of stuff that we don't really get here in the US. We have commentators here in the US. We have people that do analysis, but a lot of times the information that they get is kind of like, you know, what the organizations over there in Japan want us to know or want us to think. So I really do like reading the Japanese sites a little bit better, because it's kind of, you just get a little bit more of a, let's say, down and dirty, let's say, information. Sometimes you don't get that just fluff. There's a lot of puffery that happens, and we get a lot of that here in the States, whereas over there, they'll get more of the hard facts, let's just say. Well, I was going through one of the, let's say, US sites and reading through some of the things that were said based on an interview. And then I said, you know what, I want to dig a little deeper. And that's when I went into more of the Japanese sites and did some translations and whatnot to see what was actually said. So I want to go over it with you, and maybe we can get a better understanding of what's going on with not only Olympus, but possibly even Panasonic and the Micro Four Thirds industry as a whole, based on what is going on here. So let me start out by saying that the interview was done probably within the last week or two, so this is current information. Now, what has been said is that JIP will absolutely not be selling off Olympus, which is nice. They said that in the last 30 investments, as they call it, when they buy in these companies, out of the 30, 0 have went bankrupt. So they are bringing them back. And they always cite Sony's Vaio as a means of, or a basis for their success, let's say. Whereas the Sony Vaio was purchased by JIP from Sony, and within a year, I think it was 2016, they turned profitability. They were profitable, and they continue to be profitable to this day. So that is definitely a major success story to JIP. Now, do they have all success stories like that? No, but that's what they base a lot of their thoughts on when they make statements. So just keep that in mind. Sony Vaio, JIP bought, did well with it, and they didn't lose the name. Now, what JIP has stated is that they are hoping to be profitable, having Olympus profitable within the first year. That means 2021, they are trying to make Olympus profitable. They also said that they really want to revive Olympus and not just kind of chop it up and sell it in its pieces, or possibly just sell it to another external company. They don't want to do that. They want to try to revive it, let's say. It is an old company. Their camera division has been around forever. Why kill it? Well, we'll kind of see. Now, what they also said was they will continue with MFT, which is Micro Four Thirds, but they're going to focus on business video, such as surveillance cameras. All right. Now, they also will be keeping their brand new plant that Olympus made in Vietnam. They're not going to be getting rid of that. They're going to continue that plant going, all right, for fabrication, which makes sense. I mean, Olympus spent a lot of money on that plant. Why shut it down? There'd be no reason to do it. Now, they also noted that they were going to try to keep as many of their human resources out of their video business. I hate when they call it video business. Let's call it imaging business, all right? If you hear me say video business or imaging business, let's call it one and the same, because that's just how the Japanese market will view it as a video business. It's actually both imaging. Anyways, they're finding it difficult to be able to move everyone over from their video business. And the reason being is some of them don't want to go. All right. They're in a stable location or a stable business, which is now basically going under to a new company, and they don't know how long they're going to be there. All right. There's no security there. You know, we're looking at that 1 year plan is what JIP does with a lot of these companies and says, listen, can we be profitable in a year? What do we need to cut to be profitable? What is it? That is very, very important to them. They don't play around with this, stuff. Whereas if they're not profitable, I'm telling you, they will get rid of it. So they have to figure out how to do it. Now, what JIP said was they're currently negotiating with Olympus to acquire their own talent as well as bringing some of Olympus talent in. Now, finding talent, like I said, is difficult. You have a new company, basically, and a lot of the really good people that are out there that do the R&D, the research and development, without security, they don't really want to go. There has to be a serious incentive. And most of the time, to incentivize people to go to a brand new company, all right, you have to pay them really well. And they're trying to be profitable in that first year. It's going to be difficult. The road is going to be a rough one. Now, these insiders with boots on the ground in Japan also said that Olympus is said to have transferred the personnel of their video business, once again, imaging business, their video business, to other departments such as head office management department several years ago. So the writing was on the wall. You hear what we're saying here? The writing was on the wall. It seems that the aim was not only to improve the deficient structure of the video business, but also to transfer the know-how of the video business to the medical device division. That makes sense, right, guys? You're taking all of those top minds, those scientists, let's say, that do the R&D, and instead of leaving them in the camera business making Micro Four Thirds, you're moving them out into a management role that can also work on their medical device business. Why? Because medical devices are still making them a lot of money. So this has been years now that they've moved these smarter people out of their Micro Four Thirds or their consumer-based product line. And that is very obvious in what has transpired over the last couple of years. Think about it. This makes complete sense. Once again, boots on the ground, boots in the mud, however you want to call it. This is insider information. They continue by saying, in the digital market, only products for professional and high amateurs, which we call pro-ams, can survive. And it is unlikely that professional and high amateurs will aggressively purchase Micro Four Thirds. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, they continue by saying Panasonic has focused on Micro Four Thirds over the years, but as of late has not put forth the R&D to differentiate itself from smartphones, and in turn has begun to focus on full frame, full size cameras instead. Interesting, right? This sounds very, very much what I've been talking about for like a month. Literally like a week ago, though, I reported that Panasonic said, listen, Micro Four Thirds is going nowhere. We're going to be doing a lot of research and development and just moving our Micro Four Thirds up. We're not getting rid of it. Here, Boots on the Ground is saying, listen, Panasonic has not been doing any R&D when it comes to Micro Four Thirds, and they're currently spending all of their time or all of their R&D on full frame, or as they call it, full size cameras instead. All right. So once again, what do you believe? Or who do you believe? And that's why I like to dig a little deeper here and not always get the puffery, as I call it, from these manufacturers that they send over here into the US and other countries. That a lot of this information, like I said, is puffery. It's not necessarily the case. And I really do believe this is what is going on here. I do not believe that Panasonic is working on or putting forth a lot of effort into Micro Four Thirds. I just simply don't. And like JIP was saying in one of these interviews, that yes, we're going to keep Micro Four Thirds, but we're most likely going to target that on more high-end like video surveillance, all right? Not necessarily in the consumer camera market. And moreover, as these boots on the ground insiders have said here, Micro Four Thirds is definitely an issue, and even Panasonic hasn't put forth the effort to differentiate itself from smartphones. Okay, it's just a problem. It is an absolute problem. And I've said this, right, for months, and you know that we've had this discussion, and I think this just kind of solidifies it a little bit more and gives a little bit better of a direction, a little bit better focus on where this company is going to go, JIP-Olympus, all right, and possibly even Panasonic, all right? So these are just some thoughts that I have, and I wanted to give this information to you for you to be the judge and decide what you think is going to happen, using this information as a guideline. Now remember, some information might be correct, some might not, but a lot of this, like I said, are from boots on the ground in Japan, not commentators here in the US that are getting hearsay and secondary information from all kinds of sources, and then puffery from the manufacturers themselves. So I want to know what you think. To recap, we know that Olympus as a brand is going to stay for at least a year. All right. They might rename it after that, but most likely not. Are they going to continue with Micro Four Thirds? Yes. Will it be on the consumer side? Most likely not. Why is that? Because of profitability. They need to be profitable in the first year, and they understand that the industry is not looking for Micro Four Thirds as of today. So to create them is not going to help their bottom line. What will is medical and, of course, surveillance and things of this nature. All right. And that's where JIP is going with Olympus as of right now. So I think this forebodes badly for the people that are really eager to buy the next iteration of an Olympus Micro Four Thirds consumer-based camera, because maybe one or two might come out in the next, 6 months or so, but they're going to taper them off and possibly do away with them altogether. And that being said, Panasonic, completely opposite to what they've said, might also be doing the same thing. We'll see, right? So once again, what do you think? What do you believe is going to be going on? What do you think is going to happen with the entire Micro Four Thirds industry as a whole? Is it going away? Is it staying? What do you think is going to happen with Olympus? Is it going to boom like Vio did? Or is it going to slowly taper off and crash like some of the other companies have that were bought out and they just can't be saved? So I think the next year, 2021, is going to tell a lot, because once again, JIP gives these companies a year to produce, and their goal is profitability in that year. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't look good. All right. So anyways, guys, once again, what do you think? What do you think? Don't forget, if you haven't downloaded my ebook, go over to JCristina.com/ebook. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. Go pick it up. 10 tips at making tack sharp images. There's something in there for everyone. Amateurs, pro-ams, and professionals. You'll find something in there. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, what are you doing? Please subscribe to the channel so you can get more content like this. I have probably about 300-400 videos over the last year here to view. Go check them out. There's a lot of good information in there. How-tos, tips, tricks, commentary, all kinds of stuff you'll find in there. Also, click the little bell notification button over here so when I come up with new content or if I go live, you will be notified immediately. And please throw this video a big thumbs up if you liked it even a little bit. If you got just a little bit of information, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That would be awesome. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.